Hey friends, so this is not the video I thought I was going to be uploading today. Things didn't really work out the way I wanted them with the top 10 list this year, so I'm bringing you something a little different. I'll explain how and why. Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain, and today I'm here to break down the highs and lows of 2021. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow DNA, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. And a special thanks to the first non-business friend of the channel, Johnny Howard. Thanks so much for your support, Johnny. So, I had every intention of doing a video this year that was pretty close to the same vein as the one I brought you last year, but it didn't quite work out that way. Last year, I changed things up with the Poi Top 10 list, a lot. For most of the past decade, the Poi Top 10 list has been decided by a raw vote count. People list off poi spinners they like in the comments of a voting video, and I tally up the results. It made the process for determining winners pretty easy to gauge, but it also opened the door for some people in the community who engage in some pretty terrible behavior to be seen and rewarded despite said behavior. And so last year I switched things up. It became a two-step process in which I did an open call for nominations in 10 different categories from the community. I convened a committee of judges to go through the nominations and pick out one winner from each category, plus 5 runners-up. And in my mind, this solved a lot of problems. We had a filter on people who were problematic getting a boost in visibility, a way to reward a much more diverse range of contributions to the community, and the list featured far more people. One of the most common criticisms of the list for the past decade has been that people wanted to see more than 10 spinners featured on it. It kind of checked off all the boxes. So on December 10th, I dropped the video calling for nominations, and it landed to a comparative silence. Last year, I got more than 100 individuals offering up nominations for this process. This year, I got less than 25, and that meant that some categories had fewer than 5 total nominees in them at all. So I reached out to all the people who'd been on the committee last year and asked for their input. There was an overall feeling that this was too small a sample size to work with in terms of gauging the temperature of the community. We could have each thrown up our own nominations to fill up each of the categories, but that would have kind of defeated the purpose of soliciting nominations from the community in the first place. Ultimately, I decided that the top 10 list as it appeared last year was untenable, and I didn't want to return to the top 10 list of years past, both because I didn't have enough time as well as the problems inherent in the format. Does that mean that we're not getting a top 10 poi spinners of 2021 list in the format that we expect? Yes. Does it mean that the project is dead? Not necessarily. We'll see where I'm at this time next year. Truth be told, the top 10 list has always come with a lot of stress for me, and I can think of worse outcomes than not doing it. At the same time, I really think the changes I made to the top 10 list last year were important and long overdue. Was there a lack of participation due to a lack of interest, or just because it's been a hard year for everyone? I guess we'll see. So what do we get instead? Honestly, something that several people have suggested to me in the past. I'm going to share with you my favorites. There's no real illusion here of objective truth or impartiality. These are just going to be 10 things that I dug about the past year and that I wanted to share with you all. And being as how the list is really just mine this year, I also thought I would open it up not just to flow arts related things, but also things in general that I liked and I want to turn more people onto. I'm still going to do this by category though. The first 4 will be things that honestly just made my year brighter, and the latter 6 will be specific to the flow arts. With all that said, here are my picks for the top 10 favorite things I really want to tell you all about from 2021. Favorite accomplishment. A lot of people took 2021 as a time to sit back and chill. I did not. From trying to up my game with visual flair on my flow videos to using my channel to talk about some pretty challenging topics, I covered a lot of ground this year. But there were definitely 2 accomplishments that stood out to me above all the others when all was said and done. The first is definitely the CAPS framework that I shared in my video from a couple days ago. It pulled together things I've been thinking about and using for over a decade into a really elegant little package that's given me so much to work with that I'll be playing with it for years to come. But if I'm gonna be honest, I think the one thing I'm most proud of is that I made my financial goal for the year. I set out 3 years ago to try and get my gross income back to where it was when I first moved to DC and held a more traditional job at a nonprofit. It meant I'd have to increase my income by $5,000 a year for 3 solid years to get there. That felt like a pretty aggressive goal, and I came really close to not making it this year. But I did. And yes, there will be a video coming up next year on how I did it. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Favorite music. What would flow arts be without music? Granted, my taste is pretty different from a lot of flow artists out there, but it's pretty hard to deny that music is pretty integral to flow. It inspires us, it gets us to move, and the rhythm of it can have a huge impact on how we approach our spinning and our world. And there has absolutely been a standout for me when it comes to music this year. It's kind of a cheat because technically it was music that came out last year, but I didn't find out about it until earlier this year. And that would be Machine Gun Kelly's Tickets to My Downfall album. Yeah, I had never paid attention to this guy as a musician before this album came out, but it turns out he writes really good pop-punk songs. I was joking with my friends that this is the best Blink-182 album in over 15 years, and I lost count of the number of times that I put it on to liven up my day, or to get myself pumped up to get a project done. There's definitely at least one song on this record that I intend to do a flow video to, so keep your eyes peeled for that in the coming year. Favorite content creator. Most of the content I watch, especially on YouTube, isn't actually flow related. I love me some good video essays, music analysis, and educational videos or explainers. I follow a wide variety of creators in the educational space and pretty much always come to YouTube to learn something new. And while it's a crowded field, there is definitely one content creator who really stood out to me this year as producing some of the most thoughtful, insightful, and just well-made content out there. And that's FD Signifier. He first came to my attention with a video essay on some of the cringier elements of Bo Burnham's Netflix special Inside, and as I dug deeper into his back catalog, I was really intrigued by his approach to understanding pop culture through the lens of black masculinity. His video essay on Joker is a tour de force in deconstructing a genre I'd barely recognized, let alone spent much time thinking about. And the series he did on Kanye West, where he used the performance conceits of pro wrestling as a metaphor for Kanye's rise and fall, total masterpiece. Seriously, check this guy's stuff out. It is phenomenal. Favorite recreational activity. There's only so many hours in the day that you can flow, and since it is both my hobby and my job, it becomes all the more important for me to find stuff to do that is outside the realm of flow. And for the past year, there has definitely been one thing I've loved doing more than anything else to unwind. DC has a group that gets together regularly to do big bike rides around town. They can attract anywhere from a dozen to hundreds of people, all taking over the streets together and enjoying the sights of this beautiful city in a way that totally works with social distancing. This entry is honestly just me gushing about something I've really appreciated in the past year. So, if you've got a bike party in your neck of the woods, I highly recommend trying it out. Okay, now let's talk about some flow-related favorites. Favorite poi dance video. There were a lot of really awesome poi dance videos that I saw in the past year. From Zuz Shutova's groundwork to Yuko's beautiful flag poi flow, there were no shortage of great videos to choose from. And it might just be the benefit of having come out near the end of the year, but seriously, a video from Maciel Verestegui, I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, was the dance highlight of the year for me. Partially, I think it's the athleticism on display here, and partially, I think it's just the sheer degree of, oh my god, you can do that with under the leg tricks? But yeah, I'm nowhere near this flexible, but I surely have reason to try and get there now. Favorite flow arts community project. I freely admit that I have a bias here, but I think that the BIPOC Flow Artistry Instagram channel is the best community project out there right now. It's the brainchild of several black flow artists that I have an enormous amount of respect for, including Leanna the Hoop Lady, Nicole Goss, West Desert Rose, and Tiila of Regal Resonance, as a way to highlight the contribution of flow artists of color to the entire flow world. I seriously never run out of finding mind-blowing artists through this channel. And it also just goes to show, the lack of really visible flow artists of color was never due to a lack of talent. It was due to a lack of attention paid to them. Seriously, go check out this channel because I guarantee you'll discover an overlooked artist that will blow your mind. Favorite tutorial. This one will be an obvious pick if you've paid attention to my channel in the past year. A couple years ago, Ryan Dean Duchamp uploaded a video of himself performing a tracer that included an isolated element that I personally think is one of the coolest tricks that I have ever seen. And it's one that I've wanted to learn myself, but kept running into roadblocks whenever I tried. Enter Anton Plombier and a tutorial he did about this very trick. It was instrumental to my learning it for a whole video featuring the trick earlier this year, as well as understanding that there are multiple variations on it. So, thanks Anton for helping clear the way here. Favorite tech video or trick? Again, there were a lot of great options to choose from here, and two that really stood out more than the others to me. The first was a video full of gunslinger tech from Disco Duck. A lot of this is stuff that I'm sure I'm going to be working through and learning myself for several years to come. It was also a hit in Poi Chat, so I guess he's sure doing something, right? But once again, this could be the bias of a video coming out near the end of the year, but I have to give it to Takuma Inoue for this jaw-dropping 3-poi tribrid, one that theoretically I knew must exist and that I considered working on myself years ago, but never did. Horizontal cat-eye versus isolation is a personal favorite of mine, so this one was right up my alley. Favorite partner poi video? My pick for favorite partner poi video could have easily fit under favorite dance video, but it's my list, so I'm using my categories to give me the latitude to be a little bit more flexible with things. This is a video of Zuz Shutova and a partner doing some really beautiful poi dance moves in unison with Fantastic Four variations. Zuz has long been a favorite poi dancer of mine, and seeing her take something that can frequently be so awkward and making it look so graceful and easy is just a treasure, let alone doing it in unison with another poi dancer. So I'm going to cap this list off with favorite flow video. I thought at first that this one was going to be really hard to choose, and then I was kind of surprised when making that choice turned out to be way easier than I was expecting. As I dug back through my saved videos from the past year, I ran across one that, as luck would have it, I'd already wanted to feature for another reason. That would be Lane Lilquist's video called 2020 Year End San Francisco. Lane is a friend and longtime supporter of the channel who is also an incredibly sweet guy and someone who cares deeply about capturing fire on video. He's worked now for years to find ideal cameras, lenses, and settings to capture fire in a way that he finds aesthetically beautiful. And this video is certainly the culmination of a lot of that work. It's one that I knew was special even back in January when he first dropped it. I also just want to note for a second too that in addition to supporting this channel on Patreon, he supported me as an artist with some incredibly helpful camera gear and most recently, a new laptop. This will actually be the first video that I've edited with it. So I'm going to use this as a quick opportunity to say thank you, Lane. Your support and artistry are both incredibly important to me and to this community. But seriously though, go check out his video. He's much better at capturing fire spinning than I am. And there we go. Those were my picks for my top 10 favorite things, both flow and not flow related for 2021. What were your favorites? Leave me a comment and let me know. And now, dear friends, I'm going to take a break. I have been needing to do so for several weeks, and I feel like the start of a new year is as good a time as any. There won't be any videos posted for this first week of January while I chill out and take some time to recharge, but don't worry, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Did you get anything out of this video? Please do me a favor and like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find it and to help my channel grow. This video would not have been possible were it not for the incredible support of all of my backers on Patreon, including my Flow patrons, listed right over here. They, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on this channel possible. If you like the work that I'm doing and want to support my mission of bringing poi spinning and flow arts to the wider world and helping people connect with their brains and their bodies, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and signing up. There, you can get early access to all of my content, a say in what topics I tackle in the future, plus a host of great extras and other exclusive content as well. So go check that out. Please and thank you. Thanks to everyone who contributed to the world of flow in 2021. I know the world as a whole has been a little wild these past couple years, but through it all, getting to come back to my prop, exchange ideas with other people, and get inspired has been one of the things that's made it bearable. Thanks to everyone who's contributed to that. Have a very happy new year, and I'll see you in 2022. Peace.